Well,
Yeah,
you're right. I had 3GS, and this is much better.
did you root it? Did you root it, Fred? Or did you try to?
Say habla inglés?
Did you root it? Did you root your
Oh.
phone?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
How did that process go?
Easy peasy. Add water and stir. I didn't even ask anybody, Mitch. Can you believe that?
Well, yeah, it's usually like 1 or 2 clicks to do it. It's nothing.
Yeah, it was simple.
Not brain size. I mean, Lisa,
Now I'm looking
Lisa
at
would join
I'm
that.
looking at a new Villian. I think it was called Villian ROM. VILLAIN, I believe it was. Looks pretty sweet. I might
how do you ROM
tackle
it?
that project next.
Oh, you haven't done that yet.
No, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's a little different than just.
So how did you ROM it then? Did you connect it to the PC to do it, or did you use some sort of like application from the Android market, or?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, I didn't ROM it.
Not ROM it, sorry. Rooted it.
Yeah. You download a. I used Doomlord, maybe Doomlord. I can't remember now. I just went to the XDA forums and found it there, and it's like 4 steps. You download a couple different things, you run a bat file, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am. There you go, done.
It's pretty sweet, pretty simple.
Oh yeah.
Now, Jason, you haven't rooted yours, have you?
I haven't rooted mine because I've got just no reason to do so. I mean,
Right.
I think the whole reason that Freddie wanted to root his phone was the fact that he could do Wi-Fi tethering without having to pay for it. But
No, that's not true.
No, well,
I would never do such a thing.
But here in the UK, I mean, my phone by default, when I got out of the box, it comes with a Wi-Fi tethering app, and basically I get allocated so many gigabytes a month for my 3G and such and such. And obviously, if I turn on the Wi-Fi, it will come out of my 3G allowance, let's say, and away I go.
Well,
So
we have it too, except it's not free. I mean, that's like an extra service. I think Verizon is somewhere around $30, I believe.
Well, right now, for me, it's not that great. I mean, it's just not a big feature that I will use. I mean, I had it on my iPhone and literally used it maybe twice. Because where I live, like I said, we don't have 3G. So if I'm running around town where I live, it doesn't do me any good. So
yeah,
right.
I mean, I've only used the Wi-Fi.
The only time I
tethering.
use it is if I'm in an airport terminal waiting on a flight, and they've got Boingo Wi-Fi, or they charge $8. Then that's when I would use it. But other than that, I just don't. I don't have a use for it.
But to get the wireless tethering, that's another process to do that, to get that done.
I mean, I've only used it a few times here because obviously the 3G is pretty bad, but I've got a few customers which are still on 56k, which is majorly slow. So just turn on the Wi-Fi app, set up the access point, connect the PC, take a wireless dongle with you, and away you go basically. And also, it's really handy if you're trying to determine if a router's got a problem or it's faulty. Just turn on your Wi-Fi, so you can get the wireless laptop onto your Wi-Fi tethering app. It's pretty handy for stuff like that.
That sounds terrible, but even here, if you don't live in town, if you live within a mile out of town, you're pretty much on dial-up here. Our whole county, there's only a few spots that has high-speed internet.
Oh, you're back, Fred.
Yeah, I need
and
to
our
sort
high
that
speed's
out,
not really very high
camera.
speed.
Nah, it was a connection thing.
Where I live right next, across the river. I live in next state over, but we're only about a mile apart as the crow flies, Terry and I. And I just got DSL at my house about 8 months ago. And before that, I was on a local company, local ISP has microwave, and so I was using that. And that was pretty slow, but it was still better than dial-up. So,
yeah, we got high speed here in 2009, I believe it was.
Yeah, DSL
they've had it in New
here,
Martinsville, little town I live near. They've had it there since, pretty much when I moved here, they got it. So that was like 01, I think.
Yeah. I mean, over here. Sorry, Kevin, go on.
My DSL service here, like across the street, just like right across the street, my neighbor has 12 down. But for me here, I'm only allowed 1.5 up, but 1.5 down. It's crazy how, yeah.
Huh.
That's crazy.
He's got used.
See, I'm on 5 down
Ustream.
and 0.64 up is the best speeds I can get here.
Yeah, he's got Ustream across the street, but I don't have Ustream on my side of the street.
Wow.
See, that sounds like where I live at the moment. I mean, I'm in between a big city and a small town, and the cable must run right through the village, but we can't get cable here. We can only get ADSL. Yeah, it's pretty stupid, really. I mean, we should be able to tap into that cable somehow, I would have thought. But, if it's not cost effective, we don't get anything. So, but going back to what Freddie said about getting ADSL in the area, in the UK, what BT did was basically they ran like a campaign. So you'd log onto the BT website and you'd have the area where you'd have the broadband, and you'd say, yeah, I'm going to be the campaign manager for the broadband. And they'd send you loads of flyers, posters, and leaflets. And you'd literally have to go door to door, and you'd have people sign your whatever it is, I forget what it is now. You've signed this piece of paper saying, yes, I want broadband in the area. And we had to get so many signatures to get broadband. I mean,
we did that here.
Crazy
like a petition.
Well, like a petition. Also, yeah, exactly. Exactly like a petition.
Here in my
neighborhood, to input all this data onto the BT website, and then obviously it would get reviewed. And if we hit the number that we needed for the petition, we'd then get it. So.
And I'm the last house on my line that has DSL. So if you move to, beyond me is the woods or deep into the woods. If you were to build down there, you couldn't get it. You can get a phone line, but you couldn't get DSL.
Well, so are you quite far from your
on
exchange then, or?
It's based on income. Who do they think's going to spend the money on Ustream? But for cable, it's all over the place. So, go figure.
Well, we don't have cable out here. You have to get your TV from the satellite gods.
We do have cable here. We got Crystal Broadband as our cable provider.
Who? Crystal Broad? Never heard of that one.
Yeah. Well, years ago it used to be Time Warner, but I don't know. You hear all kinds of stories, but I was kind of told that the wires and the area was in such bad shape that they really didn't want the responsibility of it, and when they found the buyer, they just offed it.
Right. Huh.
How fast is Terry? How fast is the cable compared to the DSL? You have them both, right?
Well, I get 5 down on both. All right, but my DSL is 0.64 up, and my cable is 0.32, I think, up.
And Terry, you're in Southern Ohio, right?
Yeah, Southern Ohio.
Okay.
Southeastern Ohio.
So how far? Freddie, Kevin, and Terry, how close are you guys to each other?
I can be at Kevin's house in about 2.5 to 3 hours at the most.
And you're and you're right next door to Freddie, right?
See, the ironic thing is, I lived up by Kevin for 24 years until Family Matters brought me down here, and now that I'm down here, I live close to Fred.
I feel sorry for you already.
Well, actually, kind of funny. Tell the story how we met, Terry.
Well, we'd seen each other in chat rooms and stuff, but we never really talked as much in the chats. But one night, we was on the Linux basics, what was in the chat room, I believe, in the Justin chat room for Dora's show.
Oh, yeah.
And there was not but a handful of people in there, and we got talking, and I forget just how it happened now. I think Fred said something about West Virginia or something. I said, well, I can look out my window and see it. And after we got talking, we figured out we live with less than 10 minutes apart.
Yeah, we met on the Linux Basics website. We're 2 hilljacks from the middle of nowhere. I just thought that was kind of funny.
And Freddie and I met in person. You know, he flies a plane, as he said earlier. He's a pilot. He happened to call me. He was at a local airport, literally like 8 miles from where I work. And I stopped there on the way home from work. And it was really interesting.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Photoshop pictures to prove it.
Oh, yeah. And Brian, and Brian, we all got a hold of those pictures.
That was
Yeah,
good.
man.
I'm sorry.
I got one more little thing I'd like to go over.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
we don't have to spend much time. I just kind of wanted to go over this. This is off of Torrent Freak. A while back, they started this service that's called Have You Downloaded? And what it does, you go to this website and it gets your IP address and it tells you what torrents you've downloaded or anything. You know, not everybody's on the list yet. But the funny thing is, these people did this and they happened to come up with the Sony Pictures IP address. And Sony Pictures has downloaded Conan the Barbarian, a bunch of other movies and songs and stuff like that, you know, through their torrent sites. Also, NBC Universal has done the same thing. One of their movies was Cowboys and Aliens that they downloaded.
Dreadful.
Fox Entertainment, they've also done the same thing. And these are companies that, if you did this to them,
they're going to come after you.
They're going to come after you.
Unbelievable.
It says here out of the article, it says the fine upstanding people at Fox Entertainment checking out the work of competitive studio, perhaps downloading Super 8 for market research. But you know, in this instance, it says that paying for the DVD might have been appropriate. You know, and then they go on to tell you that when Fox notices one of their own movies have leaked online, they quickly contact the FBI and go to get the offender jailed. Which, I don't know, kind of seems odd that, you know, you can complain that much about people torrent and copying your stuff when you're guilty yourself.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I hadn't. I guess I didn't look at that, Terry, ahead of time.
It ain't right.
I mean,
no, it's not right. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, throwing a rock and you're in a glass house. You know, it's
very hypocritical.
Yep.
That's the man trying to keep us all down. That's what it is.
And the other little thing I got is my 16 gig flash drive I bought at Best Buy yesterday. $17. I like it because it has a button where you push and get the USB connection part out. There's no cap to lose. It's an HP. It feels a little cheaply made, but you know.
Does it look like this one, Terry? Of course, you got a delay going on there. A little bit.
Yeah, it looks something like that one. That's a SanDisk, ain't it?
No, it's a
PNY.
PNY, sorry.
Oh, PNY. Okay. You got a cap though, right? You got a cap to cover the connection?
It spreads. It's stuck there.
See, this one. Oh, okay, yeah. This one does the same, only it's got just a little button on the side you slide. A little slider on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you think of the quality of those PNYs, Mitch?
You know, I've never had one go bad on me. I mean, probably because I use it so little. I mean, I got a ton of them, but maybe because I don't use it a whole lot.
I have.
Those. You get pretty good prices on those. I notice on eBay and places.
I mean, I'll get it like when Staples has them on sale. Even if I don't need them, I tend to get them when I really don't.
Well, like I say, this was a 16 gig. It was $17 and something. Maybe just say $18.
I think I paid $20 for mine.
They had 8 gigs for $9.99. It's about $1 a gig where I've been seeing them here lately. Wow. And I've had a few go bad, but it's not really. I've never really had like a certain brand or anything that goes bad. You know, it's just been different ones that went bad on me.
I'll tell you what's cool. Put a Linux distro on there, and I have a Ubuntu one that I put on a 2 gig one I have, because sometimes you get those netbooks, they don't have a CD-ROM in there, and it's really convenient for that.
Nah, you need the Zalman VE200. That's what you need. Just slap in a nice small SSD drive, 64 gigs or a 120 gig drive, and obviously you've got the virtual CD-ROM function on there. You can use it as a storage hard drive and a virtual CD-ROM in Windows. You're laughing, really.
Now I remember when you were doing that.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean they've just brought out the VE